Welcome again. Let's explore types of relationship in the fourth video of the series, The Language of Research. What is a relationship? A relationship refers to the correspondence between two variables, right? What is a correspondence? How one variable is communicating with the other. That is correspondence, right? So with change in one variable, what is the change which you are expecting in the other? Are these two variables related or they are independent? This is what is the idea of relationship. Whenever you think about relationship, think about these two phrases. One, nature of relationship, and pattern of relationships. The first one being nature of a relationship, and the second one is pattern of relationships. What is nature of a relationship? Let's say our relationship tells about correspondence between the variables, right? So there could be you expect variables, you could observe that certain variables are in sync, in line with changes. You allow one variable to change, and the other variable also start showing some kind of sensitivity to the change in the first one, right? So whether two set of variables are rising together, or one is rising, the other one is falling, so accordingly there could be different kinds of relationship which is possible. So are the variables correlated? And correlation doesn't mean the causality. Let's understand, there is a special case, one special case, that when holds good, the two variables are not just only in correspondence, but one causes the other. So correlational studies and causal relationship. So relationship could be correlational or it could be causal. Next, let's look at this exhibit. Let's imagine that there is an x-axis and this is where the y-axis is, and as you could see that these two are actually two phenomena. They could be anything, but they are in sync with one another. If there is an increase in the first one, in the below one, you could see this is also increasing. If this goes down, this is also coming down, and likewise you could see that change in one is being reflected as the change in the another one. So are they correlated? Yes. But are they causally correlated? We can't say. Let's try to understand this in a better terms. Let's say somebody is referring to a particular span in time, let's say 40-50 years. He is trying to look into the census of how the population changed, or let's say in the United States. So maybe for, let's say, for the time period of 50 years or maybe 20 years, whatever. and for the same set of time you started, some other researcher, maybe he compiled something that yes, those were the days when maximum roads were built in Europe. So here growing population or population growth in the United States and road construction in Europe, both are happening in sync, right? So simultaneously you see a rise in this phenomena, and you also see rise in this phenomena as well. Do we want to conclude that it has any connection? Well, definitely not. How would you say like that if you want to build more roads, ask the people in United States to produce more babies? This doesn't sound, I mean, it's purely illogical. But this is where you have to be, this is where the right time to introduce to a concept which is called a third variable problem. What is a third variable problem? Now let's try to re-explain the whole thing by introducing a new variable, which is a third variable. Let's say economic progress or global economic progress. Let's say it was a time of economic boom, so there would be global economic progress, and you have many economic activities going on, which is causing people to plan for to have more babies, and the same economic factor is responsible for building more roads across Europe. So now you can understand that this is the third variable which is causing both rise in birth rate, responsible for rise in birth rates in the United States, as well as more road constructions in Europe. Okay, so having said about the nature of relationship, let's move to patterns of relationship. You could see that these are the curves where you could see the negative relation, positive relation, zero, curvilinear. It is a normal convention to display the x variable or independent variable on x-axis and dependent variable on y-axis. But let's say that we are not sure whether one variable is independent or dependent. That is just convention. Just let's say we do not know, but we see that by increase in x, y remains changed, so there seems to be zero correlation or no relation at all between these two variables. So causality is always the second thing to be assessed or to be checked. First you have to actually see that whether some relationship is existing or not. As you could see, here is a positive relationship which is also called direct relationship. So direct means you increase one variable and the other also start reciprocating in the same line, in the same direction. So increase in x results in increase in y. Whereas a negative relation could be your purely this price quantity relationship in economics, which people tend to discuss. You increase the price of a commodity, the demand for quantity goes down. So there is an inverse relation. There is increase in one results in decrease in the other. So you increase one thing, price, you increase quantity demanded goes down. So it is also called inverse relation. Now moving to a relationship need not be described just as linear relationship. There could be curvilinear relationship as well. So let's say let's focus on this third one. Let's put the dosage of a drug on the x-axis, because that is what is going to vary, and severity of the illness on the y-axis. So what will happen, as you could see, that as the patient is taking more medicine, the dosage, the right kind of dosage, is actually abating the severity of illness. It is coming down, but it is coming to a certain point, after which if you give the patient more dose of that drug, it is not going to improve his health, rather it will start getting into a phase of deteriorating his health further, or the severity of illness could again be enhanced, or some complications due to the overdose. So definitely here you have curvilinear relationship. You could see, if I just draw a line, here it is inverse, here it is direct. So there is a curvilinear, convex curve. Okay, so pattern of relationship. Let's reflect on what we have learned in this video. We have discussed about nature of relationship, we have discussed about pattern of relationship, and third variable problem. Remember the phrases nature of relationship and pattern of relationship every time you talk about relationship. So that's all in this video. Thanks for watching, and if you have not subscribed our channel yet, please do subscribe, and we await your feedback or your comments. We would love to hear from you. Thank you very much.